When a sow is about to farrow, she isolates herself from the flock and builds a nest. First, she digs a hollow in the ground. Then she gathers ferns and grass and brings it to the nest site, which she has already cleared of protruding roots and branches. She arranges the nest material very carefully and goes off to get some more. On average, a sow makes about 80 trips like this before the nest is ready. She begins by gathering the finer material first, and then she collects coarser branches. The sow arranges the material, picking it up with her mouth and spreading it out. She uses special movements to pack down the material along the edges of the nest. The sow's nest making, like the wallowing, is a complex behavioral pattern which has been inherited from the domestic pig's wild ancestors. When it's finished, the nest is about 30 inches high and 6 feet in diameter. When she's ready to farrow, the sow crawls into the nest very slowly and carefully and lies there quietly and well hidden for several hours before farrowing begins. The labor pains start. It's springtime and several of the free-range sows are about to give birth. The whole process is very quiet and relaxed. When the piglets are born, they quickly get to their feet and struggle to sever the umbilical cord. Instinctively, they find the shortest way to the teats. Very few take the long route around the sow's back. When they've found a teat, they test it cautiously. This instinctive reaction is extremely important. If the piglets do not get milk, they will soon die. And within the first 3 days, each piglet has chosen its own special teat, and it will fight to defend it. Almost from the moment the piglets are born, the sow and piglets sniff and nuzzle each other. This snout contact phase is important as it develops a family relationship, so the sow and piglets can recognize each other. For the first few days of their life, the piglets stay in the nest, and the sow only leaves them for a few minutes at a time, feeding on anything that she can find close to the nest. She doesn't even go to the feed trough for the first 9 days after farrowing. She's probably very hungry, but care for the piglets is more important. When the sow comes back to the nest after one of these short foraging trips, the sow and piglets carry out a complicated but very important ritual. It's important because it prevents the sow from lying down on her piglets. This ritual is particularly interesting to farmers because many piglets are lost when penned sows lie on their piglets in commercial piggeries. First, there is a little nose contact with the piglets that come out to meet the sow. Then the sow goes up to the nest and roots along its edge. This makes the piglets gather about her head and away from the danger zone along her sides. She then lies down very slowly. By now, the piglets are aware of the danger and can jump aside if it's necessary. Each of the piglets knows its own teat. You could say that each nest has its own established sucking order. When the piglets are a few days old, they leave the nest for the first time together with the sow. They play and run about for the first time in their lives, but under careful supervision. They're very curious and want to examine everything they meet on their way. They root about in the soil, nibble at twigs and plants, and in fact leave no stone unturned. But at this stage, they don't eat the things they find.